Hi Earthlings. Right. Pop you in the box. Try not to make too much noise about it. Ta-da. I did it. Well, it's a little bit dark. It's getting to be nighttime. I hope everybody's doing well. And I've been doing lots of work, so let me try my best here to catch us up. Okay, so we're going to have busy days. Now, remembering I explained how the recent eclipse was what we call a shadow eclipse because the nodal points are at the 15th degree, and yet the lunar eclipse happened at the 5th degree. So I explained to you that it was just a shadow. A shadow is two-dimensional. 2 dimensions is not solid 3D. It might feel cold, but it cannot hurt you. Have no fear. And the witches tried their best, didn't they? So the witches and the warlocks went hard. Now, everyone can see the different things that happened around the world. There was what happened to Russia. There was the things that are going on in America, stuff's going on in Turkey. And a lot of it is like barges bashing into bridges, or ships bashing into bridges. And of course that is always a sort of like it's a setup, isn't it? So they're trying to sort of stop things from getting through, moving from one to the other. So now what I would like to, I'm just going to sort of like go through my notes, show some photos, hopefully everything turns out great. So in our castle fortress position, so what we do is we do not want to be undermined. That is the number one thing that they're going for. So we do not want to be undermined, okay? Not our castle or our dam. So even if we can't avoid them, we can work around them, and we can distance ourselves emotionally. Excuse me, I'm just going to cough. So what we're doing is we're observing and we're knowing when to dodge. They lash out, you execute the perfect sidestep, aware of your own boundaries and the unshakable knowing of who you are. You in turn understand who you are. In turn, this understanding becomes a part of your daily life, and we're up to using reinforcing. So in the process of building, we have reinforcing rods that we like put into the concrete. So maybe like rebar goes this way, but a lot of them are like this, strengthens the support. And this reinforcing is our mental fortitude, okay? So this is for our castle and for our dam. We're doing two things at once. We've got it going on in our inner reality right now. So the fortress within ourselves is from a place of strength and calm, not by ignoring ill will or bad intent or grudges or the desire to see you in pain, injury or distress, but because we acknowledge that malice and the desire to do harm to us is real. All right? So let's be aware. As much as we want everything to be sunshine and roses, and or perhaps not roses because they got thorns, but you know what I'm saying, rainbows. This, we have to be aware of the thorns. Now, so people are spiteful and conjure up bad fortune. I'm talking global, or I'm talking worldwide, because I'm a flat earth person. So it says, embrace this challenge, make it define your actions and sharpen your resilience. So embrace this challenge. A little story about me, but I'm not going to use it. Now, what we're going to have here is toxic individuals are like black holes wanting to pull you into their darkness, strip you of your joy and energy. So now we have to navigate the universe without getting sucked in. So we have courage and wisdom, and one thing that I think is really cool is that all it takes is for one person to help us, become more courageous. Just somebody saying, you've got this, or hey, I believe in you, I find you valuable, I think you're worth it, something like that. That can really empower us when we're at a sort of a low point, when things are sort of like, feel like things are stripping us away, or stripping us. Now, courage and wisdom. Courage is your forgiveness, the battery. So remembering that our battery is in our kidneys. This is the chi area where we're building our reservoir. Our reservoir is like, so our soul is almost like the main power source. And then also we've got our egoic thing. Remembering we're keeping our gyroscope moving. That's I showed you-ish how to do that with our chakras, keep it moving. And what we're doing is we are creating a storage place, and that's in our kidneys, okay? Just stay with me on this. So I'm learning at the same time as you, but I'm doing it, and it needs to be done, because this is us. This is how we are ending the Kali Yuga. Now, so courage is our forgiveness, and that absolves people of their faults, and it boosts us higher than the gravity of resentment. Remembering that other people's negativity is a low energy, it drags you down, okay? So we're always going to be trying to be above it. Forgiveness lifts you up and out of their toxic influence and disentangles you from their hooks and chains. Our navigational system is our memory bank, the keeper of lessons, reminding us what's best to avoid. Toxic people are points on our map that guide us away from danger and into a safer orbit. Every overpowering emotion felt becomes a beacon, reminding us what to avoid. So, when you know that if you go forward towards this area, person, subject, and that always leads to something antagonizing or something toxic, or makes you feel sick or something like that, don't go there. Okay, we stay away, even if we like them and even if we love them. All right, sometimes we love things that they don't care about us. Now, forgiveness and memory is our compass through complex relationships. Forgiveness is your fuel to propel you forward. Let your memory help you avoid repeating the same pattern and forge your path with refined grace, driven by the power of forgiveness, guided by the wisdom of memory. So we're after a bit of emotional stability, like I said about our Reba, Thank you. Our reinforcement rods. So navigating life surrounded by toxic individuals is like driving through the fog of confusion. They can make you lose sight of where you're headed, and moving feels uncertain. That's why I told you must dim your lights when we make our way. But now I've just figured out a new thing, and that is called clearing the fog. So what happens is, through the strength of emotional stability within, we cultivate what is called stoicism. Stoicism is awesome. Think about that one person who, no matter the chaos, seems unruffled, like a mountain, standing firm against the raging storm. It's about recognizing that the only thing truly under our control is how we respond to the outside reality. Stoicism teaches us that our power lies in our reaction and not in trying to control what is uncontrollable. We can't control the wind, but we can put ourselves into a safer place so that the wind passes and we're not beaten up by it, all right? So when faced with toxicity, we channel our inner stoic. Instead of engaging in the drama, we pause, and like being in the eye of a hurricane, everything wild is on the outside of our castle, of our fortress, our inner fortress that we're building. So we can think, breathe, and act from a rational place, shifting our focus from what's happening around us to how we're going to let it affect our inner peace. We are the architect of our inner peace, and we are building it strong. We are setting boundaries. Now, I would love to try and do two things at once. I'm going to try. I don't know if I'm good at it. One day I'm going to have a lot of flash gear, and you guys will be so proud of me. Now, subject today is Mary Magdalene. Now, these are images from the fables of Bengal. So we're up to setting boundaries. So I wrote quite a lot about Stoicism, and I'd love you to please look that up. Now these are just amazing. I love these images. Look at this one. That is a ghost. Let us move. There's a woman coming to the river to get her water, and then there is like a ghost of a woman there. Just fascinates me. I'd love to do whole walls of these. Now, never regret having a good heart, because it's all about to start coming back multiplied. Remembering also that our Saviour did survive. Folk tales of Bengal. Why am I talking about Bengal? Because back in the ancient time, 2,000 years ago, when Zeus ben Pantera was alive, there was a woman, Mary Magdalene, and she came from Magdala, and Magdala was, in the ancient times was, kind of like a power in the area that is now Bengal. Okay, so, oh dang, did that one come out blurry? I hope it didn't. It looks a bit blurry. So Bengal in India, this is where Mary Magdalene came from. So this is so super cool. And I worked it out. It's like 1,000. No, was it 1,000? Can't remember how many miles it was now. Oh my gosh, I'm so fascinated with these. Images. Did I do the wrong thing? Now, each new day is an opportunity. Oops. Consider your power of choice. Think of your energy as a protective barrier, much like an ancient city wall, something that preserves your people, or preserves your peace, and keeps out the unwelcome. Such a shame. That one didn't come out so good. I'll bypass it. So, perhaps I want to show that one. This one really is cool. So, I don't know what this story is, but this beauty, she's got a gem. And with that gem, she can fly. Oop, she's holding it in her hand. There it is. Isn't that cool? So, that's pretty neat. Now, what if I got here about value? That might be a good thing. What have I got? Value of time. Setting boundaries is about investing your energy wisely, not with arrogance or disdain, but with calm resolve, stoically knowing your worth and value. The value of your time. Calmly communicate this and where you draw the line, because your peace is not up for negotiation. Move forward with this mindset. Personal growth, emotional intelligence requires creativity, shaping your dignity. Now, they also have a beautiful story. I don't know if it's Belferon or not, but they have a Pegasus story. Flying horse, that's pretty cool. The journey isn't about being unaffected. It's about recognizing that within you is a reservoir of strength and wisdom at the ready for any challenge that comes your way. Our reservoir is why we're building our dam. Oh, I hope this one's clear. It's a beautiful Holy Ghost there. So, remind yourself of the power you hold. Now, I'm just hoping that this one's going to be okay. Yep. So, let's see where my finger is on this. Okay, here it is. So that's India, right, boys and girls? And over here, we've got the... Oh, where am I? That's... Oh, wrong. Saudi Arabia there. And the Egypt is here. Oh, good. Okay, moving along over here. So what I'm trying to show everybody, this way. I'm trying to show you an actual path that's possible to walk without crossing the ocean from Africa all the way to India, but that's not the path that Aziz bin Bantera took. Because when they treated him so badly and tried to murder him, he healed, of course. Now, what am I trying to show you in here? Right. He didn't heal immediately. He was, when Mary Magdalene, now see this area of India here? Get that out of the way. It was going the wrong direction. Sorry, guys. And this is the area that Mary came from, okay? Remembering that 2,000 years ago when the Romans was invading, it wasn't invading a land that was didn't have a lot going on. It was invading the land that had a lot going on. Okay. Remember that it had been Greek for 3,000 years. What am I showing you here? So the crescent, the fertile crescent, which goes from the Red Sea over to the Persian Gulf, that's what I'm showing you in this picture here. The fertile crescent, which includes Nineveh and Babylon, the place that the Jews really packed a shitty about in the ancient times, okay? There is no Babylon anymore. I can't find out how it got ruined, though. Now, this is what we're up to. Oh, I don't want to lose track of everything. I'm just going to go straight into the eclipse right now. On the solar eclipse, the conjunction is with asteroid 318 and Magdalena. So, Mary Magdalene was the first to see Jesus in the garden after, she was the first to see him when he was in the grave for 3 days. And remember, they used I can't remember, pounds and pounds and pounds of aloe. They rubbed it and they had him all over his body, and they had all this balm and stuff. This is Nicodemus, and they tried to heal him, okay? So, I don't know what I've done wrong. They worked very hard to try and heal that man. And I know that damn somebody and all this stuff, but I think you need to realize the truth. It's time. Remember that Mary Magdalene, she had exceedingly long hair. She used her hair to wipe the feet of Jesus. Now, when she saw him in the garden, of course, he was exceedingly in pain. He had been nailed. He pulled his own nails out. You can see it on the Shroud of Turin. And he'd been nailed through one nail through both feet. They were like this. He had a massive hole. And, of course, so he couldn't walk. So he was never on the road to Damascus. That is not the truth. But what did happen was they put him in a boat, and he went up the River Jordan. Now, I don't know if I can do this. A possible picture of Mary Magdalene. This is a Bengali girl. Isn't that precious? I think she's absolutely gorgeous. Now, I'd like to read to you 3rd century, it says, Gnostic text. 3rd century? Well, let's just think about it. The Roman war on Jerusalem was in 70 AD. So that's the 1st century, 70 AD. And then it was 30 years, it was 100 AD. And you're coming into the 2nd century after that, 30 years. After that. Bengali woman. So, the Dead Sea Scrolls that were found by the Dead Sea were found at the Second World War. I think it was 1945 they were found. That was in Qumran, and that area was like the desert, or say the caves. That's where they were hidden. And they found, books that there's a Bengali woman. Bengali. They found books that are not in our Bible, because Constantine was the one who was like, keep that in, don't have that one, this one, that, blah, 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 because they started the Roman Catholic meaning universal, the one universal. They wanted everybody to follow just the one story and the one religion. Now, in this Gnostic text, it's called Gnostic, it's Essene. It's about Mary. So it says here, I was sent forth from the power, for I am the first and the last. I am the honoured one. and the scorned one. I am the whore and the holy one. I am the wife and the virgin. Oh, oh dear, oh dear. That one? Yep. The woman's world, what was will be. Evolution is revolution. That's what the crystal said to me. For I am the first and the last. I am the honoured one, the one who is scorned. I am the whore and the holy one. I am the wife and the virgin. So asteroid Magdalene, exact conjunction to the sun and moon, is with our soul and our psyche. Soul and psyche, divine feminine. So I'm talking to the woman at this point. Oh, is that all I've got on here? I didn't get a lot, did I? That's enough. So recalibration. So what I've got here, having studied the projection, this is Sabian symbol for the eclipse, 8th of April, Sun, Moon conjunct, and the North Node. Having studied the projection, we gain the mysterious awareness of our soul's transcendence, and we take, destiny, North Node, destiny, zodiacal house of Aries. We take sincere, albeit naive steps towards self-perfection in recognition of the sacredness of the relationship. We discover the importance and joy of sanctifying our own life, the mystery of being innocent and fearless in life. Two equal and opposing forces exist. One is pure impulse, and the other is conditioned response. Life throws a constant barrage of difficulties, and none of us really know why. We are fated to relive the same issues repeatedly on a constant cyclical treadmill. We gain the insight to cope and improve only if time is set aside for just being. Downtime is required for a healthy psyche. With poise, we find peace and good conscience. We find greater awareness of the conflicting polarities within us. That's ego, soul. The urge to balance our inner and outer reality is the motivation towards our conscious relationship, starting with our soul's energetic life field, SELF, self. Reaching the state of inner reconciliation, we become wiser, more capable of organizing adjustments in our situations, because we are overriding a cycle that is basically being ingrained into our soul like a record. The needle goes down, sings the same old song, okay? So we are reaching state of inner reconciliation. We become wiser, more capable of organizing adjustments in our situations. Remember the integrity of our being. To bring a sense of balance requires our heart to become involved, which typically is easier when we slow down, because if the heart is not at rest, external lack of harmony arises. So the Venus is at the 3rd degree of Aries on the 8th, so it's not quite reached the North Node of Destiny yet, but it's in the house. So we start with our soul and our psyche to do the work, and then as Venus moves forward towards the North Node, our heart also becomes involved, and then after that, last but not least, our ego. And I think Mars is at the end degrees of Pisces at this time. So reaching the state of it, we all have impulses. To always deny them is to deny life, yet to always allow them is to deny self-control. Here is the knife point of self-definition, the crux point of identity, the frontier of our self. Soul's energetic life field. Soul's energetic life field. SELF. It is not enough to refine our personal vision. We must also take into consideration the world vision of this time and place, and how our unique self-expression gives greater glory to this. Personal freedom cannot be denied, yet humankind requires a society. We may not understand the true purpose behind the conditioning, or why some conform, why others reject, rebel. Life is always the subject of our perception, reinterpretation, and influence. Respect for tradition, using power to avoid catastrophe, high level of responsibility, and focusing the mind through the mastery of self, seeing that everything is connected. Right, so that is Mary Magdalene at the nodal point, the north node, the node of our destiny, I am. And it is primarily for women, yeah. So creative ingenuity, rulership of the gods end when creative ingenuity rules. So this is more that what was happening at the beginning of this eclipse cycle was that Zeus was in the south node of Libra, the node of fate, and Zeus being a god that is not a friend of humans and always is pushing for their demise if he's not having sex with them, and trying to like crossbreed and mix his genetics in all sorts of different ways, creating things like mermaids and all sorts of centaurs and satyrs. Now, in creative ingenuity, creativity is to use your imagination to produce a work of art. Ingenuity is to be clever, original, and inventive. So what have I got here? Make rejection work in your favor. Turn rejection into victories of self-improvement. The path to personal growth. Shine brighter in what you're good at. Explore your abilities. Face your feelings. Move in pride. Rejection isn't the end. It does not mean you are a failure. All it means is that you are more real. Face it boldly and watch it turn from your big fear into your most powerful growth upward into success and life. Your value does not depend on anyone's approval. Say, I respect myself too much to keep trying to communicate when ignored. Choose silence. Get your power back by space. You are thinking and growing. This is the clarity and strength in the reset button. Okay, so I've got a lot that I'm taking on, but what I'm actually trying to share with you all is that it's a woman's world. We have not been treated very well, nor have children. There has been a lot of trafficking. And devaluing. And if it wasn't for women, there would be no mothers, there would be no children. So we are so important. You only need one man. In the beginning, it says lots of stories, And it's always like created man, created lots and lots and lots of men. There was just men everywhere. And then the gods created a woman, and the world went to hell in a handbasket. But I don't think that's true. I think it's a woman's world, and we were created first, and there was a lot of women. Perhaps there was like a few men. He didn't need a lot. One man can impregnate many women. So there wasn't sort of like a greater need for men as there were women, sort of thing, in the procreation beginning. So I want you to think about that and realize that we are really stuck in a lie. Now, the other thing that's going to happen is CERN is going to switch itself on when the eclipse is on. And also, NASA is going to fire another 3 of those APEP rockets at the sun, which is the snake. That's okay. I already know what to do. I've done it once before, and I easily will do it again. And the first time I did it intuitively. The second time coming up, I'll do it knowingly. Right, so that's that. Now, what was I going to say about CERN? Yes, so CERN. Now, every time CERN fires up and creates the whatever that explosion is of the molecules, for the God particle creation, it's the God particle. But what they're doing with this, when this happens, is it causes this ripple throughout reality, and we enter a new dimension of the timeline. So every time it happens, we have these Mandela effects, and so the Mandela effects are like, it used to be the Bernstein Bears, now it's the Bernstein Bears, and just all the little things that have been going on. There's so many. Fruit of the Loom had a cornucopia, now it does not. There's just a lot. There's many. There's so many movies have got it in, and lots of labels, and the Bible. So verses in the Bible change. And it's really tricky because it makes it so that, do we even know the reality that we're in anymore? But I want you to know we're not in Revelations. And they're just trying to brainwash everybody's brain. And of course, the path of the eclipse is running through lots and lots of towns called Nineveh, and also a town called Jonah. But I want you to know that Nineveh is in Iraq, the true Nineveh. And so Little Egypt and all those names of things that are in America, what are you doing with all those names? Okay, like they could have been named anything. They've only been named however long. America's been settled by these Freemasons that took over the country back when, just before the Revolution, wasn't it? The American Revolution, 1700s, whenever it was, that was going on back then. Okay, so I can barely see myself. Hopefully everything's going okay and it's all come out. But I want you to know, don't be fooled. The world is really pushing an agenda that is false. They're hurting people in real life. They're trying their best to collapse everything. Now, in a sense, it does have to collapse because the old government system is falling. So a lot of our government people are losing their jobs, and the same in some other countries, and also the same will happen in America because the old government system is falling. In the last revolution period, which was when Pluto was in Aquarius, and it was the old system was falling, was the end of the monarchy. Okay, so they were ending the monarchy in all different areas of the world, and they were rising up the political system. So now we're coming out of this political system, we're rising into an AI system, a quantum computing governance. rulership. So that is what is going to happen. We can't change it. And I'm just hopeful that every time CERN's doing its thing and the time travelers are doing their thing, that everybody's on the side of making the best, making the most, making the best out of everything, and just like, please give us a better world. That's all that we're after, because I want the end of the Kali Yuga, and I think it's time that we came into a better realm. One thing that's also interesting is you can never find any information about the Silver Age, and I'm wondering about that. Is that because it's yet to come? Okay, well, I'm going to leave you with this. A couple of things to think about. So, ka kite, everyone, and until we speak again, please remember that you are the life of this world as well. And you're so, so valuable. You're so, so important. Do not let bad witches overpower you and bring you down. Just the sheer fact that a bad witch will try to do that to you just goes to show how powerful you truly are, okay? Please rise up. We need you. Ka kite.